Big reptile talk. Yeah, we working. Talk about service. Big reptile talk. When it comes to talking about snakes, yeah, love that we got for them effects. Yeah, big reptile talk. Let's talk about reptiles. Yeah, big reptile talk. Let's talk about reptiles.
Yo. Well, of course, I got to say, welcome to the podcast. And before we get started, we got to give a couple shout outs, man. We got to make sure we show the people that show us love. We got to show them some love. So without further ado, let's talk about our sponsors, man, and make sure you go check them out. Let me pull them up right quick. First and foremost, we got to shout out Big Dan, man, over at Mile High Mutations. Ball python breeder, low key doing his thing. Yeah, go check out his Instagram. Go check out his morph market. He's producing some amazing animals. I mean, look at this snake right here. It's a purely fire animal. Make sure you go give him some love. And of course, we got to shoot over to Morphed Ambitions. We got to show my brother Eugene some love, man. He supports the channel. Look at this snake he produced. Such an amazing animal. The nice thing about Morphed Ambitions is you don't just got to get snakes from them. The nice thing about him is he doesn't just sell snakes. He sells cypress mulch. So hit him up. Make sure you show him some love. Of course, like I said, fire animals. And while you're there getting a snake, you can leave with some amazing bedding. Of course, you got to hit up my boy Paul, show him some love, man. He's not breeding right now, but he's acquiring some amazing animals. Large Marge Morse, he's acquiring some firepower, and when he does start breeding, he's gonna breed some heat, man, just some heat. Now we got to go to my brother Big Mike up in Canada. He supports the channel. He breeds some amazing hognose snakes. So make sure you hit up MKL Exotics. Check him out on Instagram. Just some amazing hognose snakes. I like hognoses. Now the thing about hognoses is they rear fang venomous, but it's not like dangerous to you. It's dangerous to like mice, insects. But if you want to say like you own a venomous snake, something that won't kill you, hognoses are freaking awesome. So make sure you check out Mike over at MKL Exotics. Now we got to show my boy Fry's Critter some love. Shout out to my boy Fry's, man. I want to say he's out there in Australia, man. I'm gonna tell you something. He's not breeding, I don't believe, but he has some amazing animals. And the thing I love about Fry's, man, go hit him up on Instagram. The thing I love about Fry's, man, is he supports so many people in the community. I believe that if this man was dead and gone, he would find a way in heaven to still support our YouTubes. Like somehow we'd be live on YouTube and there'd be an angel in the corner. It'd be freaking Fry's Critters showing love, man. So y'all go hit up Fry's Critters, subscribe to his Instagram, man. He definitely shows us love, man. Now this one right here, I love this brother right here. Shout out to John, man, over at Mad River Serpents, man. Mad River Serpents and Rattery, producing some amazing animals, man. Make sure you hit up their morph market. Make sure you hit up their Instagram. Tell them Derek sent you. Amazing support of the channel. I love them. Shout out to Big John, man. And last but not least, you already know ball pythons, man. When I tell you that this dude is a low key, a heavy hitter, when you're producing clutches that look like this, like anybody will tell you, I freaking love the Xanthic morph, man. So when you're producing clutches like this, you need more exposure. So y'all, please make sure y'all go hit up. You already know ball pythons, man. Just amazing ball python breeders in the community, man. So without further ado, I'm super excited to have everybody in the chat. Shout out to the people that are showing up, man. Today's gonna be fun. I like this podcast. Hold on, give me a second. We got StoneAge ball pythons in the building, man. Now he's breeding, and not just that. This man is crushing it on Instagram, man. So without further ado, let's bring Justin over, man. What's the deal, big brother?
How's it going, man?
Man, excited to have you here, man.
Yeah,
hold on, give me a
for sure.
Give me a second. I have an echo. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Thank y'all for being here. This is gonna be crazy, man. Now let's get some history, man. Why ball pythons? What made you say I want to breed ball pythons?
Man, so I guess it didn't start out that way. It started out just as like as a pet. It was I think 2011. I always get my years mixed up. But like 2010, 2011, I was working with a guy who had a 200 ball python collection. And was showing me all the different imports and all the other different things that he had. He was working with an importer and had like his own line of yellow belly, and that he's really who got me hooked. He started showing me all this, all the different mutations and stuff, and he produced pastel calico back then that was just so blown up. I still have pictures of it, and he pretty much got me hooked. I got my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, convinced to let me get some snakes, and it just went from there.
I love it. I love it. Anybody in the chat, man? Do y'all hear echo? I can still do the show, but man, ball python.
I couldn't get my headphones to work.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. The chat will tell me if they hear echo. I could just be hearing it. No, they said they can't hear it. It's fine. Man, so how long have you been breeding?
So I started collecting in 2011 and bred in 2012 and 2013. But I took a sabbatical from breeding, and so I didn't breed 2014 through 2018. I was in apprenticeship school to become an electrician and really busy and not in the right state of mind to run a collection. And I got that done, bought a house. I built an extra room in my garage that I could climate control and everything. And then I'm like, all right, I got a house. I'm ready to go. And I got some of my collection back from my original collection, because I was up to like 20 or 30 snakes, and I think I ended up getting like 12 or 13 back, but like normals, pos heads, a couple of single genes, nothing crazy, just like the basic stuff you would have had in like 2013.
Okay. I like that. I still hear myself echo. Give me a second. Let me take myself out and come back. I hear echo. I took my headphones off, but I still hear it. It's not you, it's me. Hold on, let me take myself out.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I got the chat up. How's everybody doing tonight?
Yo. I still hear it. Give me a second.
Yeah, so 2019, so September 2019 is when I got back in. And that's where I've just been keeping my head down and grinding. Elite, I'm doing good, man. Just finished a round of VR golf. It's my new hobby. I golf in real life a little bit, but not so much anymore. But the VR has been a lot of fun. I got it for my kid for Christmas. All right, got Derek back.
Hello. I still hear myself. I don't know why I'm getting an echo. Oh, I know why. It's because you have this open on two screens. You have it open on your phone and your computer, right?
I have it muted on the computer.
What the heck? Can y'all still hear the echo in the chat? I don't like this. Hey, everybody in the chat, can y'all hear an echo?
Yeah, they're all saying yes.
What is going on? Marino Morse said, yeah. What the? I took my headphones out.
Could it be my microphone taking the
sound? Yo. It's not on my side though. Let me hold on. Let me second. Yo. Yeah, it's not on my side. It's on his side, because when I took him out, I don't hear it anymore. Something he's got two screens open or something. Yo. When I took him out, I can't hear it no more. Hello? Can you hear me now? You muted yourself. Unmute. Hello? Yeah, it's on your side. It's something that you're doing. You got two screens open. Maybe. Do you have it open twice on your phone?
No, I never went to it on my phone.
Shit.
Can you hear me though?
I can hear you, but when I talk, I hear an echo, which
I
tells
plug
me
my microphone too, so I don't know.
turn off. He said, Franz said I can't hear Justin. Yeah, because when I mute you, I don't hear the echo anymore. So it's something on your side. Turn off your computer. You only need your phone open.
All right, I'll exit out.
Yeah, turn your computer off. Oh well, we're just gonna have double dare. Fuck it.
I'm completely. I exited out of YouTube on my computer.
All right, now go out and come back in. I'm gonna take you from the stream, like on your phone. Go out and click the link again and come back in. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And that should fix it. Anyways, what's up in the chat, man? This is gonna be an amazing podcast. Shout out to everybody that's here. This dude is killing it on Instagram. When you have 100,000 subscribers, not subscribers, people that follow you, it's insane. So we're gonna pick his brain, and we're gonna talk ball pythons, and just have some fun, man. Let's get him back here because it's an echo when I hear him, and I know it's not on my side because I have amazing internet. So. I feel like he's at McDonald's, still in the Wi-Fi or something. I don't know. Yeah, he had two screens open. He had his phone open and his computer open. And I'm hoping when he goes out and comes back in, this will fix it. Because I never have echoes on my side. What's everybody got up for tonight, man? Enjoying our Sunday night. Let's see if this fixes it. Yo, that fixed it. There's no echo. I told you. That fixed it. No echo. Yeah. I knew it. I fixed it. All right, man. Glad to have you here, man. We're talking ball pythons, man. Now I got to give you a hot seat question, man.
All right.
So you've been breeding for a long time. Currently, right now, who's your favorite breeder? Anybody in the world?
Oh, anybody in the world?
Yeah, anybody that's breeding right now.
I'd say just because he's always had my back. He's a low key, high quality. I wouldn't call him a big breeder by any means, but his name's Jerry Robertson. With Snakes Are Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check him out. Shout out to Jerry Robinson over at Snakes Are Cool, man. Now, you said you took a hiatus, man. You know, you were breeding, and then you said, you know what, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna come back. You know, now currently, since you've been back, what are your current projects? What are you like currently working on?
So currently, my projects are I'm trying to focus just on recessive stuff. So I have clown pied DG hypos projects, mostly clown pied. I have a leopard inchy clown pied male and some double heads and some visual clowns and visual pieds that I have a big group for him. And I just started getting into DG hypo. I bought a pastel triple head DG hypo clown, and then I got a acid pastel pinstripe double head DG clown from Jason Kittinger. And so that's kind of where my future is leading, is DG hypo and clown pied mixed together. But this year I'll have I'll be producing visual clown pieds, and I have a double head hypo pied that I'm breeding the clown pied to. So hoping for some pied double heads, well, possible hypo. And I'm hoping that hypo is one of the genetic tests by the time I have a clutch this year, hopefully.
Nice. So you want to be known for, like, you know, desert ghost stuff and clown stuff. That's what you want to be known for?
Yeah. Probably clown pied. I really liked, probably my two favorite recessives ever since the very first time I got back in, you know.
Nice. Now, some of my favorite morses, like, I like the Xantic, and I just recently got into the pastel. Like, I like the pastel. I'm gonna tell you a history lesson that somebody told me. Do you know who made some of the first pastels?
Oh, I've heard it before. I don't remember though.
So I was looking this up. I've been trying to get this dude on the show for a while. You ever heard of Greg Graziani?
Oh yeah.
So Greg Graziani, he had a clutch, and he sent Kevin McCurley from Nerd a couple eggs, and they hatched out. And Kevin called his Jungle Pastels, and Greg had the same hatch, and they had the same morph or whatever. And so they hatched the first Jungle Pastels, is what I was what someone was told me the other day, and he said that the Jungle eventually just fell off, and people just started calling them Pastels. So the people that actually made it was Greg Graziani and Kevin from Nerd. Ain't that crazy?
Right? Yeah, no. The very first pastel, and now everybody's hating on it.
Everybody say no. You think everybody say no pastel?
Oh, I hear people talking crap about pastel all the time. I love it, man. I'm like, if you're doing anything DG, you have to have. I mean, you don't have to, but pastel and DG go so well together. It's like, why wouldn't you do it?
Right.
I got a better deal on the pastel triple head hypo DG clown than I got on one without pastel. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take one with pastel.
Right. I like pastel. I like Xantic. I like yellow belly. I like a little bit of everything, man. I got a whole bunch of favorite morphs, man. Now, you gave us a history lesson. You was breeding in, you said 2011, 2012, around there. Man, do you take us back, man? What was it like getting that first clutch, man? Like, what was going through your mind when you seen your first time getting eggs?
Oh, nerve-wracking for sure. I mean, back then, man, you don't have the resources that we have now on how to incubate, temperatures, humidity, how to keep it up, what tubs to use. Like, I was a hot mess back then, man. Like, just stressing every day. Do I put the press and seal on the top? Do I lift it up? Do I give them air? I mean, I think people getting into it now are so much better off. Like, there's so much more information. Back then, nobody really wanted to help. Like the guy Jerry, that I met him when I very first got into breeding ball pythons, and he was, I mean, once you like start looking him up, dude, everybody knows who he is. He's super good to the community. He's really helpful, and he's always been that way. It's never been any other way. He like gave me all of his industry secrets. Like, this is how you do this, and this. This is the temperatures, and I wouldn't have done as well without his help for sure.
Right. I feel you. Now that first clutch of eggs, man. Like, nowadays people just get it. They set it in an incubator. They try not to look at it. But that first clutch, how many times do you think you looked at it within that 50 to 60 days?
10, 15 times, probably or more.
I love it, man.
I'm checking and making sure everything's good, making sure nothing's molding. Like, yeah, it was a labor of love for sure.
That's what it's about, man. That excitement. Now, since we're talking about that first clutch, do you feel like you still have that same excitement today that you had with that first clutch?
Every time, man. It's so just like pretty much these things wouldn't be here if we didn't create them. You know what I mean? So it's like a new life. Like, what's in the egg? Like, there's always excitement, man. I'm like, I got old pictures on my Instagram, me sitting by the incubator taking a picture, like waiting on these things to hatch. Like, I'm all about it, man. It's a lot of fun.
Now, see, I told my wife I want to breed, but see, I want to go the other route. Like, I think I want to skip the incubation route. I want to breed boas and do live births. You ever thought about that?
I've thought about boas. I don't have anything against them, but my wife doesn't want anything huge in the house.
You could. There's lots of boas. You could do rosy boas. Those are small. Amazon tree boas ain't too big. You could do anything that does live. You can do lots of boas are small. You can do but I'm just saying, to me, I feel like you win it because you're skipping that incubation period of having to do the eggs in the incubator. They incubate in the mom and she just pops them out.
Right.
It's like you win it. You don't have to buy an incubator. So you saving money, steps, and time. Or you just like, nah, that's terrible.
No, I don't think it's terrible at all. I think it would be cool to go into the cage and boom, there's 30, 40 babies, you know? Like, oh yeah, I don't have to do anything. Cool. All right, let's go.
Right. I feel you, man. Man.
The excitement from like having the eggs, not knowing what's in them, the anticipation, I like it.
Right. Now take us back, man. You know, you chasing your dream, man. Do you remember your first sale? And like talk to us about your first sale. How was that? Who do you remember? Who was to? What was going on with your first sale?
So my first sale was a trade.
A
And
trade.
I had produced some caramel or het caramel albinos, and the guy's name, I remember him. He's a local guy. His name's TK Morphs. He's not in it anymore. I know he has a small collection or whatever, but not in it to where he was. And meeting him and then just being so skeptical, like, oh, I don't know if this is really the genetics. Like I was trying to rip him off in the trade. And but he had caramel albino stuff, so it was just like a straight trade for het caramel for a het caramel, mix up the genetics and see what we could do. And then with the caramel albino stuff, when you start looking into that, there's issues with visual females laying eggs, laying slugs, laying really small eggs. But I guess I don't know. I got lucky. My visual caramel albino gave me eggs in 2013. And but I don't know if it's an issue with making visuals with it or what, but I didn't have any issues. And I still have her in my reptile room. I still have a lot of my original ones.
Nice. I love it, man. Now, you know, chasing your dream and breeding, you know, I like people to be able to come here and learn. So I want you to kind of give me your experience. Do you feel like, you know, you could still chase your dream even though it's like it's, you know, big dogs out there, like, you know, people want that Kabelka snake, people want that Aussie snake, and people want that. Do you feel like it's still room in the market for, you know, you and, like, you know, people that are still chasing their dreams to compete with the big dogs and still make sales?
Oh yeah, without a doubt, man. I'm a small breeder. I'm not I have like 50 snakes, like breeders, hatchlings, grow ups, all that. And I've had no problem with sales. I know I've had a little slowdown the last couple months, but I'm still selling. And I don't have that much left for sale. This year was a slow sale, but not a slow sale, but a slow year of clutches. Like the last 2 years I had 8 and 9, and then this year I've only had 5. So I had a lot less babies to move. And but yeah, I definitely think this dream is still out there, man. You see it all over the place. Like, I mean, I broke even my first 2 years back breeding. Like, I don't see it being an issue, but you have to do it right. Like, a lot of people who struggle making money and stuff, they impulse buy. They buy stuff that they really don't need for their projects. And then that's where it really gets them to be in the negative, because they have to feed all these snakes. If you have 20 males and 20 females, you still have to feed all of them. So that's your biggest cost, really, is feeding the snakes. So if you can be hyper focused, and that's what I am, man. Like, this is the year I've started to get rid of normals and single genes and non-het females. Like, if you do it right and you stay hyper focused, you can do fine. I wouldn't bank on making $500,000 with a small collection, but you can make 20 to 50K on a small collection and break even and have money to reinvest and keep growing. It's very possible.
Right. So you're saying to win, you know, you got to always be looking to level up. Like, if you got snakes in your collection and they don't fit your plans, they got to go. If they're not breeding, they got to go.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless it's like I have a couple of snakes that I don't care what happens. They're never going anywhere. But if you have certain things that, like, what am I, like, if you're not attached to, like, the stuff I'm going to keep, I'm attached to. It's my first 2 normals and my first morph, first female morph that I bought. Like, those probably aren't ever going to go anywhere. But everything else that I've acquired for breeding purposes, if there's not a point to have them, they shouldn't be in your racks. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your rats that you could be feeding your other snakes, you know?
Right. I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more, man. So, you know, like you said, it's been kind of a couple slower months. And, you know, we all seen that Jessica Belka put that video out about a recession. Do you believe that it's a recession in the ball python game? Or do you just feel like, you know, COVID is kind of slowing down and people's not buying as much? Or like, what do you think is going on with the ball python game right now?
I'm not an economist, so but this is just my opinion. I think overall the world is going into a recession because of COVID. I think all the COVID money pumped the markets way up, and when they cut off the spigot, man, everybody's like panicking, struggling to pay bills or whatever, you know. So it's like I think overall, just the economy in general is going into recession. I don't think it's a ball python specific thing, but I think it's like a broader global thing from the pandemic.
Right. I agree. Now I want to have a little fun, and then we'll go back to the questions. I got a couple hot seat questions for you. Are you ready?
Yeah, bring it on, man.
Now, hot seat question. I like to compare breeders. I talk to Ozzy all the time. I talked to him yesterday, and if you talk to Ozzy boys, they'll tell you I'm a boutique ball python breeder, and he compares himself to Gucci or Louis Vuitton all the time. So he'll tell you if you shop with me, it's like shopping at like Louis Vuitton. And I always tell people if you shop at Jessica Belka, it's like shopping at Balmain or Prada. So if we're coming to shop with StoneAge ball pythons, what store best fits you? Any store out there?
Oh man, that's. I guess I'll just. That's a tough one, man. What store fits me?
Yes.
Me personally, like a Cabela's. But ball pythons, I'd say like.
It's nothing wrong with that. Cabela's is cool. I love Cabela's. Cabela's is an amazing store.
They're a huge supplier, and I'm not, So I'd say like some like boutique, not even boutique, but like a small family restaurant or something like that. You know what I mean?
I like that. Those small family restaurants, that give you that good homey feel.
Yeah, we run lean, and I'm able to. I'm so small, man. I'm able to reach out and talk to everybody. Like I don't have a million messages coming in a day where I can't even respond to customers. Like I'm still at the point where I'm like, oh, you want an extra picture of this? Sure. Like I'll run downstairs and take a picture and send it to them. Like I can still make that connection with my customers versus just being like, oh yeah, here's your snake, ship by. You know what I mean?
Right. I love that. I agree with you. Now, just to have a little fun, we all know people. They known for specific morphs. Ozzy's known for the Orange Dream. We know Jessica Belka, produced the Batman. We know, lots of Marcus Jane out. He produced the Lightning Pods, and everybody is known for a certain morph. So I got to ask you, real quick, make up a morph, any kind of morph. I don't care. Just make up a morph.
Just a single morph, black pastel.
No, but it can't be real.
Make up one?
Yeah, make one up like purple pat, like strawberry punch fusion. Make up a ball python morph off the top of your head. Just make one up.
The Amaya ball.
The Humaya ball.
Amaya.
Amaya?
Yeah, Amaya.
Okay.
I
like that.
It's my daughter's name, and it means night rain in Japanese.
Night rain in Japanese.
So it'd have to be a super dark, nice, clean morph.
I like that, man. I love it, man. That's what it's about, man. Now, last hot seat question, just to have a little fun, Shout out to your wife. I'm sure she's a lovely lady. Now, I got to get you in trouble a little bit, man. So, you're working on projects, right? Have you ever wanted a snake and you may have feared to your wife, like, baby, I really need this for a project. It's $200, and she found out it was $1,000.
Not that she's found out about.
So you say you have, but she ain't found out.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, man, all the money I spend on snakes has been money I've got from selling snakes that I've produced. Like I haven't had to take much money. Like I started out in 2019 producing a lot of pet quality stuff, and I produced a lot of it, and I vended shows, and I saved every penny, and that's how I got So I got a leopard inchy clown pied male with all the money I saved up from the 2019 and 2020 season. So I haven't had to take a lot of money, and a lot of like out of my personal money. And some of the stuff I've done, I'm an electrician, and I've done like trade work and stuff for ball pythons, and that helped me build up my collection in the beginning.
Okay, all right. So you never really had to like, you already reinvested, so you never had to fib to the wife, and that's a good thing. Happy wife, happy life, right?
Yeah. Well, I think about it. If we're both happy, we're doing good, right?
Right. I love it.
What's the term? Happy spouse, happy house.
Right. I love it, man. I love it. Now, you're a ball python breeder, and I like people to be able to come to my podcast, have a little fun, but not just that, learn. So since you've been breeding, this is like a 2-part question. What's been the hardest part of breeding ball pythons for you, and what's been the easiest part?
All right. The hardest part has been probably time management. I have a full-time job, commercial industrial electrician. I have 3 kids. 2 are younger, 1 and 3, and I have a 9-year-old. So it's like juggling family functions, work, making sure the snakes are cared for. So I've tried to like mainline everything possible. Like I also do crested geckos. I don't have them here anymore, but when I did have them, I had cups made up and frozen. I had a Mist King system, so I didn't have to get in there and spray every single cage. Like I'm all about trying to make things as efficient as possible. I think maybe another issue is, I mean, I really don't think of it as an issue, but I feed frozen thawed to 95% of my collection, and it's the time to let those thaw out for 4 to 6 hours, warm them up, and then feed everything. So it's kind of like a half day, 3/4 day event. So you really have to have the time to do it. And the easiest thing, I guess I would say, is just the actual breeding of them. It hasn't been. It's not very difficult to breed a ball python. It's like just got to make sure you're putting the males in with the females enough times and tracking stuff. And recently I borrowed an ultrasound from a friend, and I'll go down and help him. He's got a 10 times bigger collection than me, but I'll go down and help him ultrasound, and then he lets me borrow his ultrasound to come and ultrasound my stuff. So that's making it even more easier for sure.
No, don't use ultra. You cheating when you use an ultrasound. You got to palpate.
I literally used my first ultrasound a month ago. Like before that, it was all palpitating.
Okay, I'll let you use ultrasound. if this is your first time, okay, you got to do the old school way. But ultrasound's good though, because it saves you a little time. It's a lot easier, I bet. But I love it, man. Now, give me your reason. Like, what's the number one reason you think new breeders don't make it?
I think probably the biggest reason is people overbuy or buy the wrong things, and they build a collection that's not going to be self-sufficient. You know what I mean? Like back to the buying too many males, and I still think that's an issue. Like I've seen some people getting out now and seeing what their collection consists of, and it doesn't consist of anything that's worthwhile for the long term. Like if you want to be in this long term, you have to, in my opinion, you have to be in recessives. Obviously codoms too, but you have to have a long-term plan. If you're just breeding to breed because these look cool together, then you're going to have issues and you're not going to last very long.
So you prefer, when it comes to like buying stuff for your collection, you prefer to start with like powerhouse females first or powerhouse males?
If I could do it all over, I would buy 5 powerhouse females, grow them up, and then by the time 2 to 3 years go by, you have the powerhouse male you wanted back then is now cheaper, or there's a better option. And that's the biggest thing, is having the females up to size, because a male you can get up. My male was breeding at 650 grams, like my clown pied. Females, you got a lot longer weight. So if you don't have those females
irregardless if you have a cool male or not, you're not gonna do anything with it, you know?
Right. He's dropping gems. Get them females. Then grow them up and get them males, man. Now, I gotta ask. For me, this might sound weird, but I like expos, but I'm super paranoid. Like when my wife goes, I'm like strip in the garage. I don't take your clothes off. Put it in the washer. I'm scared of mice. I hate bugs now. I looked at your Instagram and I see that you vend a lot of shows. So teach us, like, how do you protect your animals when you vend these shows? And what's the game plan? What's your game plan when you go to you vend shows and you protect your collection from mice and any other stuff that you can get at these reptile expos?
Right. So I've been listening to I don't know if you want me to shout. I sponsor a podcast that really focuses on.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding. Go ahead. I'm kidding.
All right. Well, this would be good for you if you're thinking about getting into breeding ball pythons to listen to these ladies. They're it's called Holdback Rack Podcast.
Shout out to Holdback Rack. I know them. Shout out to I want to say Jessica, right? Jessica Hare. Yeah, I know her.
Yep. But yeah, dude, they're great. Jessica and Jana. Sorry, couldn't think of her name. Jessica and Jana is a local vendor. She vends all the shows around me, but they are really big into biosecurity testing, how to prepare your snakes for shows. But what I do, so say I'll go to the show's great, come home at the weekend. I don't go into my reptile room that night. I keep all the show stuff separate. I have a separate rack. I'll do preventative mite treatment. I'll leave them in that rack for 24 hours. So if there's anything on them, man, it's gonna die from the treatment before they go back in the reptile room. And I know a lot of bigger breeders, they don't even keep their show stuff in the same room ever. Like, it's always separate, because it is an issue, man. You can get mites, which is the least of your worries. You can get Nido, crypto, which you can't even get rid of with hand sanitizer. Like, you can hand sanitize and you still have crypto, and you can transfer it to your animals. When I shows, I prefer not to let anybody hold snakes unless they're serious about buying it, just for the security of my collection,
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Get them home, treat them, keep them separate from everything. Take your clothes off, wash them. Don't go anywhere near your reptile room and your clothes from the show. It's serious.
Now I know you've been a lot of shows, and I know you're on Morph Market. Now, what do you like better? You like the shows better or Morph Market? Or you like them kind of both?
I like them both, but I think I prefer shows. I mean, Morph Market's fine, and the reach you can get all around. Like, because I'm only getting my local community here I'm from Oregon, so I get Portland, Washington, and that's it. Like, Oregon and Washington community, which is good, but there's not a lot of high-end breeders here. So, like, once I start having clown and clown pied stuff and pied head clown and clown head pied, it's like, you have to be on Morph Market. You have to have a presence. People have to know who you are, or you're never going to sell anything.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm a people person. I love going to the shows and talking and hanging out. My wife always gives me a hard time. She says, "You'll make friends with anybody." I'm like, "Yeah, I like hearing what people have to say."
Now see, I'm indifferent. I like them both, but see, I think Morph Market is good if you're a breeder, but it's bad if you're a consumer. I'm gonna tell you why. I like them. Don't get me wrong. I love them, but for me, like when I introduce my son to reptiles, I don't want, like, I'm gonna be disappointed if he's like, "Dad, yeah, I just ordered this snake." I'm gonna feel let down, because I feel like he would get more out of saying, "Hey, Dad, let's go to the reptile expo and let's meet Justin. Let's go meet StoneAge ball pythons," versus him saying, "Hey, I ordered a snake from Justin." As I think that for a breeder it's great, but for a consumer, if you're trying to get that snake that's in like somewhere far away up in New York, but I don't know. I'm split on it. I like them, but then I don't like them. You know what I mean? I think it's more so that I'm just hooked on reptile expos. I love going to them.
Right. I don't know. I think a majority of people, like my customers or whatever, they've never heard of Morph Market. Most of them. So a lot like I've connected with a lot of people through Craigslist, through the shows, and that's how they learn about morph market. So I still think the majority of people getting their first pet snake is Petco, PetSmart, local breeders, shows. That's where they're getting their first one. So I still think that experience of going to the shows, because man, it's mostly parents and kids at shows for the most part, and they're
Right.
getting that pet snake $300 and under. You know what I mean? So it's like, I still think that experience is there, and that's really up to you, man, because it's your exposure. You're exposed to the community. You know about morph market. So if you didn't know about it, it's like, oh, I want to get my kid a snake. Where are you going to take him? You know, Petco,
Right.
Smart, or hopefully there's a random reptile show in your area popping up.
They have them here, like at least where I live. It's like it seems like it's one every month. I love it. It's one, matter of fact, on the 15th, and I'm and see if I tell my wife I want to go, she'd be pissed, but. Because we live in an apartment. I don't have a lot of room, but it's like it's like, damn, I really want something new. I want to go. And she's like, damn it, Dad. I don't know. Anyway, shout out to Morph Market. Awesome app. We love you, but reptile expos are better, man. Now I want to have a little hot seat question before we keep the podcast going, man. So shout out to your lovely wife, man. This is gonna help me form my opinion of your wife. So I gotta ask. What's the best reptile-related gift your wife ever got you?
So recently she hasn't bought me anything, but in the 2014, it was my first Father's Day gift. She bought me a high-end leopard gecko when I was doing leopard geckos, and pretty much she's never told me no when I wanted to buy anything since. So it's pretty much everything.
Oh, then that's a keeper. Then if you would have said she ain't got me none, I was like, I don't know, you might have to divorce her. But you know what? She got you that high-end gecko. So shout out to Miss StoneAge Ball Pythons. We love you. Now I want to talk about Instagram, man. We love the snakes. That's what we're here for. But I got to talk about Instagram. And real quick, do like this for me. You see, because I wanted you to do that because we flexing, man. Like, what was it? 132,000 followers, man. Like, how, that's a flex, man. Like, how does that make you feel knowing 130 something? I think it's 130 if I remember correctly. 130,000 people follow you on Instagram. How does that make you feel?
It blows my mind every day, man. I don't know. I have ideas why I got here, but at the same time, it's like, why me? Like, holy crap. Like, there's so many other ball python breeders out. Like, there's other guys with accounts that are a lot bigger than mine, but it's like, why my account? Like, it's just, I'm still mind blown because 2 weeks ago, I was at 48,000. Like, it's just blown up in the last 2 weeks, even more than it was before.
Do you feel like it's because you've mastered short form content?
I think that I have figured a way to keep pushing forward and keep growing my account. I've done in the very beginning when Reels started popping, like early 2020, I was deep into it. I was doing lives, I was doing posts, I was doing Reels, and my gimmick back then was like one post, one story, one reel a day. And I did that for 6 months and I don't know if I'm not like a great videographer or anything. I'm like, I take videos on my phone and I'm just like, I just scroll through what other people have made and I try and be like, okay, without audio, what's a good idea I can do with a snake or whatever, right? And I did that for a long time. And that built me up to the 48,000 follower mark, right? Just off of my content. And then over the last 3 months, I've been kind of stagnant on, I'm monetized on Instagram. So it's like you get paid per view for your reels. And I was really stagnant for the last 3 months. And I'm like trying to well, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to keep this account growing? Because I was losing followers at one point. I hit like 49.8, and then it just started ticking down, and it got down to 47 or 48.2 or something like that. Like, what can I do to keep this growing? And I started seeing like people with remix viral videos. I don't know if you've like taken a look through my reels or whatever, but my most recent explosion in content has been from remixing other viral reels, where I'll add my face in a corner, like my reaction to the video.
Yeah.
And that has absolutely made my account explode. That's kind of what I was trying to do, was figure out how to turn Instagram into a revenue source to help take care of my ball python collection.
Shout out to Arvin Priest, said, wow, that's a lot of followers. You just gained one more. See?
All right.
That's what it is. So, anyways, man, 132,000 followers, man. We gotta talk about that. But before we talk about that, I want you to do something with me. It's homework. When you get off this live with me, this is what I want you to do. And I want you to repeat after me. Say, honey, I'm not taking out the trash no more. I'm famous.
Oh, that's not gonna be good, man. You're getting me in trouble.
Now
I ain't taking the trash out anymore. I'm gonna be famous.
I'm famous. I love it, man. Now, short form content. I think that's the way social media is going. You look at TikTok, you look at Instagram Reels, you look at Facebook Reels, you look at Snapchat, you look at anything. I like to call it, fast food content. People like to come, get their content, and leave. I think that, I'm on YouTube, and it's nice to be able to shoot a 10, 15-minute video, but I think those days are over with. People aren't watching 15, 20-minute videos. People are wanting to come they're coming to get 60 seconds and they're leaving. So I think that, anybody on, social media, short form content is the way to go. Even on YouTube, they have YouTube shorts, and I preach them. I preach it all the time. Push short form content, because that's where everybody's wanting to go, man. And I think that you have mastered it. Now I got to ask, you're shooting a lot of this content. Are you doing it on an iPhone or Android?
I have an iPhone 13 Pro. Sorry.
That's the exact same phone I have. If you would have said Android, I would have blocked you.
Yeah, I've been an iPhone guy for 10 years. All about it.
I love it, man. I think that, and this is what I tell anybody, man. Anybody wanting to, and I'm gonna ask you the same thing, but I'm gonna give my thing is, anybody wanting to get into social media, start. You don't need the high-end camera. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to get it. If you can go out and get it. But if you have a phone, these phones nowadays are just fine. I tell anybody, just start. If you don't start, you never will. So I say that to lead into the question of what would you tell somebody wanting to follow in your footsteps, wanting to grow their Instagram? What's the best thing you could tell somebody? Hey, what's tips and advice to do what you're doing? Shout out to Frost Critters, man. Y'all go give him some love. Hey, Frost, man, we love Android, man. I'm just giving him a hard time, man. Hey, if you got an Android, I still love you, brother. I love you. It's all love, man. So give me some advice. What's the best thing you could tell somebody wanting to do what you're doing on social media? Because you're killing it.
So I think it really depends on what you're trying to do. Like with me, my StoneAge account at first, the one that's at 132K or whatever, that was just for me to build a reputation in the community, to show people that I'm a legit person. I'm not going to rip them off when they send me money for a snake. But if you're trying to use it as a revenue source, I would just follow the trends. I started a second StoneAge ball python account. It was so I didn't even know I actually had it. It was my original one from, I think, 2013. So I started making that my backup. And so what I'm doing now is I'm trying to transition to have ball python breeding only related content on my new channel or on my new Instagram page. Because most of my followers aren't reptile people. They're from all over the world. And that's
right.
The thing with Reels is that when your stuff goes viral, it's not going viral in your specific community that you're trying to target and grow in that community. So I'm trying to separate my viral account into a revenue stream off of trying to get viral or remix viral videos to go, and just do breeding specific on the other page. And I do have a, if you don't mind me saying this, I have a giveaway going on right now on the new page. You can win a sugar yellow belly female or a clown male, which it's a dual giveaway with Cue Ball Morse, my buddy here locally. So if you go and follow that page and tag 2 friends in the reel that I put up for the giveaway, you'll be put into a drawing, which is going to be announced next Friday on the Holdback Rat podcast. They're going to announce the winner for me. So people go check my new page out if they're just ball python. I mean, you can follow me. Anybody can follow me, but it's more directed towards ball python specific.
Right, ball python specific content.
Cool free snakes. Yeah, and if I can get up, I only have like 360 followers on that because it's really in the first stages of getting rebuilt. But if I can get to 1,000 followers on that Instagram page by Friday, I'm gonna pick a 3rd and 4th winner and buy them a US ARC membership.
Oh, I love that, man. Shout out to USARC, man. Support USARC. They have to fight for us. Now, I love it, man, that you're a part of the reptile community, man. There's so much stuff that you're doing. You know, you're breeding, you're growing your Instagram. I love it. Now, I want to get back to the snakes, and I got a few more questions. You know, egg cutting. Yes or no? Are you doing it? Yes or no?
I like to let stuff pip first. I see one snake pip, I'll cut the rest.
Okay, so you're not, okay, so it's not too controversial. Now, how do you avoid getting bit when you're pulling eggs?
I have a couple videos up of me pulling eggs. I use like whatever's in the area. I've used a paper towel roll and I just put it in front of the female's face, and pretty much as soon as you get your hands on them, man, they just melt. Like with any mean ball python, as soon as you get hands on them, they chill. So I just try and distract them or keep something in front of their face, and then I'll peel them off the eggs that way.
Right. I love that. Now being a ball python breeder, can you be a successful ball python breeder and not, breed your rats? Do you feel like, to be successful, you got to breed your own rats to kind of eliminate that food bill?
No, I think you can definitely be successful without breeding your own rats. I currently have 3 tubs that I breed rats in to start babies out, but 95% of my collection is on frozen thawed. So I will buy frozen thaw in bulk, and the more you buy, the better deal that you can get. So I try and get everything possible. Like I'll spend $1,200 at a time and fill up two freezers, a drop freezer and a 18-quart stand-up. Like I have probably 700 rats in my freezer right now. I've always been
700.
Yeah, well, I have 2 freezers in my garage, a drop freezer and a stand-up. I've always been really worried about not having the rats to feed my snakes because I don't produce them myself. So that's why I always stocked up. But the beginning of this year, I invested in a company with a friend who breeds rats off-site. So not at my house. I just invested the money, helped build the racks, helped buy the rats. I help sell the rats, and I do the books. So I own a percentage of that. And starting pretty much now, I'm going to be getting all my rats for free because I made this investment in that company a year ago.
Oh, that's what's up, man. You're smart.
Yeah, I'm just always trying to find ways to save money.
Right. I love that. Now, I want to talk about incubating. So a lot of people, some people getting into the game might not necessarily can afford an incubators. So I say that to say, I'm kind of curious. Are you using a store-bought incubator, or have you ever made one before? And how was that process of actually trying to make an incubator?
My very first one I made, and it was a repurposed wine cooler. And you specifically, if you ever want to build one, I can give you the step-by-steps on how to do it. But pretty much cooler, false wall, heat tape, fan, and then a exhaust hole at the bottom, so the air will keep circulating over that heat tape, and it keeps an even temperature as it's getting sucked in and gone across the heat tape and then back out the bottom, and it just circulates in your incubator. But the one I got when I got back in, it was built the same way as I built my last one. It was from from my mentor buddy Jerry. He had an extra one for sale, and I bought it from him. But yeah, it's just a Rockstar cooler, nothing crazy. But man, you can really go cheap. You can do an incubator in a cooler, like no problem. Like an ice chest cooler, you can do it.
Do you hear how you sound right now? You sound like Tim the Two Man Taylor. I'm
That's
just kidding,
about
man.
right. I've built all my racks. I've built everything, man.
I knew it. Tim the Two Man Taylor. I'm just kidding. I'm giving you a hard time, man. Like for
No,
me,
I love that show, man. That's not disrespect.
for me, man, I'd have to buy one, man, because I make an incubator. I come home, my whole house be burned down. I be wired something wrong and be homeless because my whole house will burn down. But I love that, man. Anybody out there, you're looking, needing help learning how to build an incubator, hit up StoneAge Ball Pythons. He didn't built them before, man. It's a jack of all trades. He built racks, all kind of stuff, man. That's what's up, man. I love that. Now, running your business and being a family man and working full time, do you ever get the chance to go and do any herping?
Yeah, when I go, so I'm a big outdoorsman. I do a lot of hunting. So like, I don't get to do a ton of it, but like whenever I'm out hunting, man, I'm sitting, turning over rocks, trying to find the local species in the area. And sometimes when I work, man, my job allows me to go out in the woods, and I found scorpions, all kind of like scorpions, frogs, everything. One thing I haven't found locally, we do have is rubber boas, and I've never found one. That would be my grand herping adventure for locally, at least.
I love that, man. I love it. Now, I'm gonna ask a couple more questions. I like to keep my shows to about an hour, a little over an hour, because that sets you up for another round 2 down the road, man. But so who are your some of your favorite OGs? Like you got Crutchfield, Tom Crutchfield, you got Gundy, you got Dave Palumbo. Who are some of your favorite OGs in the reptile game? You got Bartek, Brewer. Who are some of your favorites?
I'd have to say I've always really admired Garrick DeMeyer.
Garrick DeMeyer, Royal Constrictor Designs, right?
Yeah, Royal Constrictor Designs.
Oh man, icon! You just mentioned the icon in the game.
Yeah, well, he does it in pure winter. It's cold, always cold where he's at, and I don't know. I've just always admired the stuff that he's produced. I remember seeing him when I first started breeding. JKR, he's good. I really like Ozzy. I'm in Ozzy's Patreon. He's a really intelligent dude, and trying to pick his brain in his Patreon and figure out how to. Once I get to a point where I'm making good money or whatever, how to reinvest it properly, how to save myself from paying the tax man any more than I have to. It's like
I love Ozzy. He's actually my favorite breeder. I tell people, like, I'm not even kidding you. I talked to Ozzy maybe 2 days ago. And if you talk to Ozzy and he don't make you feel like you can buy a whole city block by yourself, you didn't talk to Ozzy, because he'll tell you.
You should have heard me when I first joined his Patreon. I was like, tell my wife, like, look, babe, if I can make this amount of money, we can take it. We can buy a short-term rental. We can what do they call it? Not increase the deductions, but you can fast forward all your deductions on a short-term rental, and that completely offsets your costs. And then we have short-term rentals, and then we have non-W-2 income. I'm into it. Like, I'm trying to generate wealth for my family for the long term, not just from snakes, but from my own career, and just trying to do things right. And
right. I agree.
He's got it figured out, man. So he's a good dude to look up to.
Shout out to Deranged Reptile and Amphibian Feeding. He said I should get Garrick DeMeyer for an interview. Man, you got to watch my podcast, man. He's been on the show, man. Garrick DeMeyer has done an interview with me, man. So much love to you, brother. Now, a couple more questions before we go, man. This was an awesome hour. We talked about ball pythons, some of the stuff you can do, breeding wise. We talked about Instagram, where you're absolutely crushing it. Before we go, man, being a ball python breeder, have you seen the Dave Kaufman movie?
Yeah, honestly, man, I listened to a couple of your podcasts today, and I heard you ask somebody if they had watched it, and so I went and watched it today.
I gotta ask, man. What do you think of it?
I liked it, man. It was lots and lots of good information. It was cool to see where this whole industry came from. It was some of it was like a little like, but most of it was pretty good. I really liked it.
Right. Shout out to Dave Kaufman, man, a true icon in the business, man. Now,
him showing incubation temperatures was pretty cool in the different areas.
I mean, he was literally showing these snakes underground. It was crazy. He showed the snakes.
Stick my hand in this random hole in Africa and take a temperature and humidity reading.
Right. I couldn't imagine it, man. Dave Kaufman goes so many places, man. It's like I'm jealous. You know, I love my wife and my son, but if I wasn't married and didn't have I'd be on the road somewhere. I'd be on the road. I'd quit my job and I'd go do exactly what Dave Kaufman is doing. He has it figured out. He has sponsors that pay him to go do shit that he enjoys. It's like, you got it figured out, Dave. So shout out to Dave Kaufman, man. Now I want to have a little fun. I like making thumbnails for my podcast. So what we're gonna do is, let's do, and I'll do my face. I've never had snakes pip, but I'll make a fake face. But I want you to do, on the count of 3, your face when you see a snake pipping. When you come into your reptile room, you look in your incubator, snakes are pipping. On the count of 3, what do? On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there it is. Thumbnail. There it is. I love it, man. Like, before we end this podcast, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. Tell people real quick where they can reach you at if they're looking for snakes. Give your Instagram, your Morph Market, all your social medias.
Yeah, Morph Market, StoneAge Ball Pythons. Instagram is at StoneAge Ball Pythons, and then that'll direct you to my newer ball python breeding only Instagram page. I'm on Facebook. I have a YouTube account. I've been posting shorts for a while. I wanted to bring that up to you. I started posting shorts like 3 months ago, and I've had like 600,000 views. I looked at the end of the year review; it was like 600,000 views. But I looked at yours, I'm like, damn, I'm killing it. Yeah, pretty much everything, every social media, I have an account. TikTok, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I think I even have a Twitter account, but I don't ever post on it.
Well, hit him up, man. StoneAge Ball Pythons, absolutely killing it. He's breeding some amazing animals. And he's got 130-some thousand followers on Instagram, just killing it, man. I appreciate you giving us an hour of your time, but don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you backstage. I want to thank you when we go offline, okay?
All right, sounds good, man.
Thank you. Thank you for an amazing hour. We're definitely going to get a round 2. Don't go anywhere. I want to thank you, okay?
Yeah, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Awesome podcast with StoneAge Ball Pythons, man. Just super great show. Shout out to everybody that showed up. I appreciate you tuning into the podcast. Tune in, I believe Friday. We have Gavin from Balls to You going live with us. It'll be like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon because his time is different in the UK. So tune in this Friday. We're gonna have Balls to You. And then after that, we'll have Ozzy, I think on like the 20th or the 21st. So those are the next 2 shows we got lined up. Shout out to the sponsors. Before we leave, we got to pay those bills. So I'll be right back. As always, we got to give them some love, man, because they show us love. So make sure if you are checking into Ball Python, shout out to Dan from Mile High Mutations, Low Key Breeder doing his thing. Go over to his Instagram, his Morph Market. Check out the heat he's producing. Shout out to my brother Eugene over at Morphed Ambitions. He's producing amazing snakes. And he has that cypress mulch on deck, man. He's 2 for 1 right there, man. Shout out to my guy Paul over at Large Marge Morphs. He's undercover, man. He's getting a lot of heat. He's not breeding yet, but when he does breed, he's gonna breed some insane stuff. Make sure you go follow Mike over at MKL Exotics. This is an amazing hog-nosed breeder. And we definitely gotta love on Fries, man. He supports the whole community. Y'all go hit his Instagram up and give him a bunch of likes. Tell him I sent you. Shout out to John from Mad River Servants and Rattery. He's selling snakes and rats. So stop in there and get you a snake. And even if you don't want a snake, stop in there and get you some food for your animals. But he does have some amazing animals. And last but not least, my brother, you already know Ball Pythons. Low key in the game. But let me tell you something. He needs more attention. When you're producing snakes that look like this, I love the Xantic. I love the Xantic morph, man. So make sure y'all go check him out. You already know Ball Pythons on Instagram. Tell him Derek sent you. Until next time, man, this is Big Reptile Talk. Make sure you tune in. Like I said, Friday we got Gavin from Balls to You, and then after that we bring in So two amazing breeders. And before we go, man, just again, Go follow StoneAge Ball Pythons. If you don't, you crazy. Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Hey, until next time, man, this is Big Reptile Talk, and we out of here, man.
Big Reptile Talk.